Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. In this episode, we've got the Classified series. So I've been waiting to get these for a long time, as most of y'all probably have as well. Depending on when you're watching this, of course. You could be watching it 10 years from now, who knows. But this is the Scarlett figure from the new 6-inch, well, new as in 2020, 6-inch G.I. Joe series here. Very, very cool looking. People are mostly split on these things as to whether or not they like them or not, and I haven't made my mind up yet, so that's kind of what we're doing today, is going to take a look at the figure and just get our thoughts about it here. So it does come in a new packaging style, very reminiscent of like the Star Wars Black series here. Got a nice window box. You can see the figure and the accessories in there very nicely. We have some new artwork here on the side here for Scarlett herself. On the side we have, this is figure 5 from the first wave, and some cool looking just stuff going on there. The other side we have more, I guess we can probably turn it this way. More new artwork for Scarlett here, training in the dojo, doing all this cool stuff here. I like the looks of it for the most part. The front, I don't know. There's something a little off about it, but it still looks pretty decent, so I don't really have a problem with it. Looking at the back here, we have a big splash scene of the G.I. Joe universe here, and some of the figures that we can expect to see in new upcoming waves. So those will be really awesome. I haven't picked up the rest of the set yet. They aren't showing up around me, so I'm going to have to go find some online probably. But as soon as I get them, I will pull them out of the box for y'all, and we can look at them together here. So top of the box just kind of shows that right there. But yeah, let's go ahead and tear into this thing and get to the actual figure itself. We got a single piece of tape here at the top, so we're just going to go ahead and slice that open and then pull the figure out here. So I don't know, are y'all have y'all been looking forward to these new 6-inch G.I. Joe figures, or are you more of a vintage 3 3/4, or are you modern 25th anniversary and above? There's all we got. So we'll toss that to the side. We have this cool looking insert here that kind of folds out. Nice kind of blue background here. Some of the action features, I guess, here. Pretty interesting, but not all that much interesting. Throwing that to the side. We've got a little paper insert here. I guess this is the warning from Hasbro in multi languages, so made in China, etc., etc., etc. I don't care about that, so we'll toss that to the side as well. And so first off, there's a lot of empty space on these blisters. So we do have tape holding the accessories down over here, so I'm going to go ahead and slice that tape off so we can get in here to the accessories. At least that's the intention here. The crossbow does not seem to have anything holding it down, and the figure itself has not got any weird ties or anything like that. So yeah, let's pull knife 1 out. Then we have knife 2. And we will zoom in here and take a closer look, don't worry. Knife 3. Then we have her cool crossbow pistol that evidently comes in 2 pieces. And then the figure itself here. So bear with me while I crunch plastic. Alright, there is the figure itself. So, pretty cool. Alright, let's zoom in a bit here. Zoom. Very, very cool. Alright, so we're going to start with the accessories here. We'll move Miss Shauna O'Hare over here. We do have 3 cool looking knives and this crossbow pistol here. So, starting with this one knife, I don't know. We've got some interesting detail going on here. If I can keep hold of it there. Nice serrated blade. Cool detail work on the handle. Very nice looking. That fits in either hand here. It is made out of that soft, bendy material here, just so you're aware. It is what it is. So it fits mostly in her hand. Her hand evidently is a little hard to get this to go in there. There we go. Slide in from the top and fits in their hand very nicely, very easily. Pretty cool. Knife number 2 is a, is that the same knife? Yeah, that's the same knife here. So you get 2 of this type of knife. So double knives for that one. And then we get a 3rd knife, which is slightly different. Again, nice detail in the hilt, but not a whole lot going on the rest of it here. Pretty cool looking though. Again, it's made out of that kind of soft plastic here. Her crossbow here comes in 2 pieces. Very much like some of the rest of these things here. So you can see there is this kind of alcove created there that matches up with this little peg-like thing on the front, and you just kind of snap it together. So no big deal there. And then it just the string snaps in here at the back as well. So no problem with that whatsoever. I guess technically that means it can kind of collapse into be a regular pistol if you want to consider it that. But they have done some really nice looking details for this one. So taking a look at the top here. If I can get the light to shine correctly. Very cool looking mechanics on that bow. Cool looking scope. Some nice detail on the back side here. You can get that to focus in a little bit on the hilt there. Then the underside has a few little detail points. Those cool flywheels there for the compound bow portion. So that is very cool looking. And it does have a tendency to fly apart though. So be aware of that. It's just kind of held in there by friction. It's not going to stay very easily, but I think for the most part, and I think we've had this issue with other of these kind of 2-piece weapons in the past, so I'm not really surprised about that, but for the most part fits in her hand very well. You can kind of shake it around and it's not going to fall apart there, but trigger hand fits in there very nicely as well. So yeah, I'm okay with that. Go ahead and pull that out now, and let's take a look here. So up first we do have a cool knife bandolier with her quiver. It also has an opening here on the back. I'm assuming that's for these knives to fit in. So we slide that one in right there. We slide this one in on the next side. And then the 3rd knife just kind of fits inside right here. That looks pretty cool. I was a little bit afraid that we weren't going to have a way to keep those cool looking knives in place, and We may be able to snug those in there a little bit more. Yeah, so those snug in there pretty well, and that looks actually fairly cool. Some nice detail there. It is not got like a clasp on it, so it's just made as a single round point. But you can slip that off if you don't want her to be wearing that quiver all the time. Pretty cool looking though. Some nice detail in that. You can see the cool arrows, the cool sculpt here, the nice leather wrapping kind of things going on right there. A little bit more detail going on. I was going to try to keep that on there, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it off here. Okay, so that comes off fairly well. We're going to count it as an accessory. So we'll get some more detail shot here. Pretty cool. You can see a little bit of like distressing. So they've made kind of like a little bit of texture feel on the back of that for like the leather workings. Same thing for the belt itself. You can kind of see where the stress points are on that leather. Very nice looking all the way around. Is that a grenade? That's a small grenade if it is, but it may just be a clasp. I don't know. But some buckles on there. So very cool looking though. Very nice little bandolier, quiver, whatever you want to call it. She also has another belt here with a pouch on it, but I guess you could slip some of the knives down in there on the side there as well, but not anything specifically made for that. So, yeah. Detail wise, let's take a look here. I'm going to dial the light down at the front here so we can kind of get that to not be blown out quite so much. It's an interesting face sculpt. The paint apps are a little weird. They've added her freckles, and I don't really know how well this is going to show up at all. I think that's going to wash out. But they do have painted freckles on there, and it looks pretty good. They've done a good job. She's also got a slight kind of highlight there on that one strand of hair where it's lighter than everything else. But the detail work on it looks really nice. She's got an earring there, an earring there. Jack the light up a little bit more. Move on down here. So a really nice looking costume itself. Lots of detail work going on in there. I can't really make out everything that's on there, but looks pretty cool. Shoulder pad there. She's got her traditional kind of throwing stars there on her wrist gauntlet. Some nice kind of padded gloves there, armored gloves, whatever you want to call them. Looks pretty decent here. Again, very cool looking belt. Nice pouches, like the buckle there. Moving on down here. So the costume itself, you can kind of see some of those straps there. I was interested in this. So, very nice looking. And on the back side there, there's a place for a backpack to peg in there like we have traditionally seen in other G.I. Joe figures. So, very nice. Moving on down here, we've got some nice details in the actual pants. Nice texture going on right there. You can see all the zipper and the pockets, I guess, and little buttons. And on the back side, more pockets, more texture. Moving on down, pretty interesting looking armor. Lots of detail going on there. It's got a slightly worn look on the armor itself, so a little bit of weathering, but it's also got a little bit of paint slop going on. So like you can see right here, the yellow went way too far over. And that may be contributing to the slightly dirty look, I guess. But all in all, it's not bad. The details look pretty cool. The color scheme, I wasn't really sure about that, and looking at it now, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I don't really know about the color choices on the bottom half here, on her boots and stuff like that. But it looks pretty good. It looks fairly cartoonish. It kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the like Fortnite figures, design-wise and color scheme-wise. So, I don't know if they were doing that intentionally, but I'm getting that kind of, that design vibe going on here. Anyways, let's take a look at the articulation here. So, the head does spin 360 degrees. I will mention that there's that kind of highlight splash on the back of her ponytail there as well. It is made out of that soft plastic also, so it moves around. It doesn't get in the way of anything. But yeah, anyways. So 360 degree, we have a lot of up and down motion here. We do have that kind of double neck joint there, which is very cool. Side to side head tilt is very nice. So yeah, and I actually want to say there's actually 3 joints there. So there's the double neck joint at the top, and it looks like her neck is on a ball joint as well, which is very weird, but so her neck kind of moves independently of her head. So lots of posability there. The head does pop off pretty easy, I think. Yeah. So, regular ball joint there, and yeah, that neck piece is separately articulated there, so that is kind of odd, but that's what we got here. So let's pop that head back on there. There we go. So we have a standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints here. She can go out that far. We've seen issues with these ball joints in the past where they don't necessarily open up as far as I would like. So you end up just having to rotate the arm instead of lifting the shoulder up, I guess. So not the worst in the world, but that's kind of what we got there. We also have a ball and swivel joint here at the elbow. We also have a swivel and rocker at the wrist. Pretty cool. I like that. We have the standard kind of chest rocker ball joint, I guess you would say there. So lots and lots of motion there, which is actually really surprising for whatever reason. So rocks back that far, rocks back that far. Side to side is really good there. So all in all, great articulation there in that kind of rib cage joint. We also have another ball joint thing at the waist. So that is really cool. You can twist it as well, but it also just kind of rocks around. So yeah, that's a lot of a range of motion there. So strangely, you go back a lot further than you can go forward. That's a little weird, but that's the way it is. So still pretty cool. We do have the standard kind of plastic T-hooks here at the waist and hips. And I will point out that they are a weird little ball system. So you can see you can actually pull down on it, and that joint kind of pops down, and press it back up, but it also goes out. So you actually get a really large, I guess, significant range of motion there, which is also surprising to me. I don't know why, but it is surprising. So yeah, be aware of that. So forward, it's a little limited there, so that's fully forward. Let me move her arm so we can get the focus there. Fully forward, fully back, full side to side. Again, you can play around with that weird joint in there and get it to kind of do different things to be able to go in different places. So it's just a little different, so I don't really know what to say there. But we do have a standard swivel at the top of the thigh there. We do get a double knee joint. We have a swivel at the top of the boots. We have a swivel rocker combo at the ankle joint. So that thing goes every which way. No problems with that whatsoever. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird. You're going to have to get used to that weird floaty ball joint here in the hips. But it's not bad. So, that's pretty much it as far as the articulation goes here. Yeah, what are my thoughts here? The color scheme is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The articulation is really good. There's a few of these things like the hips that are just odd, but still end up working okay. I'm a little disappointed in the arms. The top arms not having I guess I'm getting used to some of like the WWE figures where you have the swivel at the top of the biceps. Not that big a deal. The level of detail in the figure is pretty much what I was expecting here. I'm actually kind of enjoying the actual details on the costume itself. I think they're working pretty well for it. The facial sculpt leaves a little bit to be desired still. I'm not sold on that completely, but it looks better in person than it does being photoed. Again, the lights are washing this out quite a bit here. It, I guess, has a more youthful... I don't really know what to say about it, but the face is just a little bit odd for Scarlett. It's not bad, it's just not exactly what I was expecting, I suppose. It looks a little bit more cartoonish than I was, I guess, hoping for. I've really liked those realistic kind of details in faces and things like this, and this one just seems a little bit too cartoony for me, but I don't know. It's not bad at all. I think you'll probably like it much better in person than you do seeing it in photos, but you're going to have to make up your own mind. The weapons, I like the quiver and the arrows and the knives. I was hoping for some more accessories for Scarlett. Pistol or something. That was one of the things about the ideal of the 6-inch version of the standard G.I. Joe Troopers. One of the things that I really have always liked about the series has been all the accessories you get. So I'm a little disappointed we don't get more accessories with this one. The knives are a cool touch. I like the quiver. The crossbow is kind of junky, but it's kind of her signature weapon though, so I guess it works pretty well for what it is. I think it would have been better off if they had made it as a single piece. I don't know if there's a legal restriction for that or whatever it was, but yeah, it needs a little work. But the rest of the figure is pretty cool. I'm definitely going to pick up the rest of the series as soon as I can find it, and again, I'll put those reviews out here for y'all whenever I can, but you're probably going to want to go ahead and pick this one up. I'll just say that right now. If you haven't already, whenever they do hit shelves around you, you're probably going to pick it up because it's G.I. Joe and it's actually pretty cool, and it's the first time we've had 6-inch figures in a very long time, so yeah, that's kind of what it is. So I'm digging it though. It's not as bad as I was fearing it was going to be. Some of the paint apps may need to be tweaked a little bit, but they're not too bad. The gold is a little bit more muted than most people have been making it out to be. So, I don't know. It's very interesting anyways. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching, as always. Drop some comments down below, let me know what you think of the G.I. Joe Classified 6-inch line Scarlett. I'm still kind of a little weirded about it, but overall it's a pretty cool figure, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else they can do in the line. It's not going to be for everybody, that's definitely for sure. But if you're one of those people that like it, then you're going to like it. If you're one of those people that don't like it, then you're not going to like it. So, I don't know. Anyways, we'll catch you next time. And until then, Yo Joe!